I'm Genhee, founder of ElevateMD, and today we're going to talk about, do doctors need $10,000 a month to live on in retirement income? I think it really depends on your lifestyle, and if you want to have or need $10,000 a month, I think the more important question is, what is that amount that you need to live per month in retirement? Once you calculate how much you need, then you can figure out how much you need to work, for how long you need to work. But having that plan in place will give you the confidence to know that you're going to live comfortably and the way that you want in retirement. I think the big problem is not that they get fixated on a number that they need to live off of every month in retirement. I think a lot of them don't even have a number, and that's the biggest problem. Because when you don't have a plan in place of how hard you need to work to be able to retire comfortably, then you live in this netherworld of not being sure if you're saving enough, not feeling comfortable or feeling guilty because you don't know if you're spending too much. But the biggest thing that I think doctors need is a plan in place to know exactly how much they need in retirement to live comfortably in their retirement years. Doctors worry way too much about if they're going to be comfortable in retirement because they just don't know. They don't have a freedom point in place. They just keep thinking if they work harder, that they're going to be okay, but they don't know how much they need to work to be comfortable. So then they work even harder. And all that does is accelerates their burnout rate, and that creates more stress. And then they worry even more about their retirement. So it just becomes this never-ending building vicious cycle. Instead of focusing on a fixed number, doctors should focus their time and energy on establishing a freedom point. A freedom point is a value or a lump sum that you need to have saved and invested at the time of retirement to ensure and feel confident that you are going to retire in comfort. That freedom point can change in time. It can get bigger or smaller. But the most important thing to remember is that you change your freedom point as your lifestyle and circumstances change. And if you always have a mind to make sure that your freedom point is aligned with your personal life and your career, then you'll have the confidence to work as little or as much as you want and still feel comfortable and confident in retirement. The first step a doctor has to take to establish their freedom point is look at their expenses. Looking at their expenses, how much they spend, how much they can save, and how much they make. Budgeting is going to be really important, how much they can save on a consistent and regular basis, and roughly speaking, what they think their time horizon is for number of years that they want to continue working before retirement. When you start to think about those numbers and you put them in place, then what you can do is establish that freedom point. And essentially, it's like working backwards so that you know today how much you need to work to be able to fund your lifestyle in retirement. Some of the key areas that doctors should focus on to make sure that they're establishing their freedom point is number one, effective communication with your spouse so that you know where you're spending and how you're spending together to make sure that you're reaching the goals that you've set together, and also making sure to have a regular check-in with your wealth management team. If something should happen or your circumstances in your life should change, then just remember to make sure that the freedom point is also changed accordingly so that you're not caught out or surprised in your later years. Doctors shouldn't focus on a fixed number that they need to live on every month in retirement. What they should focus on is establishing a freedom point and making sure that that number, whatever that freedom point is, changes accordingly depending on their life circumstances at the time. I'm Genhee from ElevateMD. If you want to find out more about how to reach your freedom point, visit my website at genheeso.com, and I'll catch you on the next video.